Alright, stream should be going. Just wanted to see YouTube admit it. YouTube has gone green. Let's move over to the game window. Alright, hopefully it'll catch up soon. And just make sure, yes, OBS does have that. Yay! Alright, let's get going. And if I sound different, I have a new mic. The old one kind of failed on me. That's weird. And it wasn't a... like it died on me. It was a just... It had noise. It was producing a lot of noise in the signal. So basically unusable. Actually, it might be that last week's stream also had it. I just didn't notice because I don't listen to it myself. I'm kind of doing it. And nobody watches, so nobody said, hey, there's a problem. Yeah, kind of how it goes. But, yeah, I was able to... I ordered a new mic on Tuesday, and it actually arrived Thursday, so I was really lucky with that, considering it was just the free shipping. What is there to talk about from this week? That skeleton did not fall down. Oh, yeah, there's... It's been a weird week, because it's been a week off from work, so I've just been doing other kinds of work. Yeah, Intel's CEO resigning, which that's not something I was expecting to see in the news. I don't think anyone was expecting that, actually. And it's going to be very interesting to see what comes of this, because Intel has not been in the best of shape recently. It's like AMD's finally been giving them some real competition, and their response has not been significant. I mean, let's throw another 2 cores onto well, basically the 7700K, because the A700K is not that big an improvement. It's like, yeah, 2 new cores. Okay, it's IPC. I want to say when people were testing it, not much faster. I don't remember if the clock's any higher. But it's like, yeah, they just did what they could and are leaning on their IPC lead, which is narrowing, and being able to clock much higher. Which is not the safest thing, safest things to lead. And then there's the whole struggles with 10 nanometer. It's like, you know, in a way, getting new CEO may help with that, but it, in the interim, is a lot of instability. So, in that respect, this is not good for Intel at all. Plus, I did see one place, while it is the CFO that's the interim CEO, one place I saw saying that he doesn't want to be the CEO permanently. So, and I've seen that happen at another company not too long ago, where the interim basically then just did become the permanent CEO. I just don't remember where it was. But that will not be the case here. The guy doesn't want to do that. By the way, I do not, because I've already played through actually a good portion on the other character. I have no idea. I mean, this seriously does look like there should be something going on here. If there is, I don't know. Alright. So talk about that. Hey, the Shadow of War review finally came out. And yeah, that is my 100th review. Well, 100th published. Technically, there's one that never went out, never will, but that's... It was just a timing thing, that it wasn't too important. Yeah. And I only realized that after I updated my resume to include it, because my resume, I have a section on there for different published things, including all the reviews, and I do this all in LaTeX, and I have LaTeX actually set up with a counter, so it can count up and say, hey, I've done this many reviews. And you know, when uncommenting the line for Shadow of War, it's, oh, I'm at 100 now. Cool. Yeah. I do know what 101 is. I don't know what 102 will be. So, yeah. But it's still definitely...
Cannot open the door at this time.
Definitely really good to have reached that. I mean, on the one hand, it does seem, you know, kind of arbitrary 100, but it is also, it is triple digits.
Can I go on while others
That's
suffer?
what we've, that's what I've had.
I will not cross the Styx until the way is clear for all shades. I will run the ferry myself. But I cannot move Charon's boat without his oar.
So this is basically, because Charon is missing, this guy's willing to do it, but he needs the oar to ferry people over with the boat. Just trying to think about it. What else? Oh, yeah, that was all this week. The news, the reporting that Intel is having issues with oversupply with one, what did it say, top 3 Taiwan OEM, which that would be, I think both Asus and MSI are Taiwan based. And those are both OEMs. Like, just as 2 examples, I don't know if either of them are Taiwan based. I could be wrong there, and I don't know. It's like, I saw the same reporting everybody else did. I don't know who the one is that shipped them back, but it's still shipping back 300,000. And one place did also point back, it isn't just they shipped them back, it's they had to, NVIDIA actually had to say, okay, we will take them back. So it's not like, you know, just dropped at the doorstep of the warehouse. And good luck, NVIDIA. No, it's more complicated. But that is not good news for them. Yeah, okay. Oh, hang on. Okay, so I need it to be that one there. And yeah, it definitely is something that could, that could be influencing when the 1100 series releases. And by the way, I do find it funny how many, I know that I would by accident refer to the next GeForce series as the 2000 series, but it's because it's from 1000 to 2000, but it's like, no, that's stupid. They've been incrementing by 100 for quite a while. It's going to be at least on the units as the on hundreds as the unit. You know, 4, 5, 6, 7. They skipped 8, at least in desktop parts, went straight to 9. But it's still those increments by on that order of magnitude. That's what I mean to say. So 2000 doesn't make sense. But yeah, that would definitely influence, because if once they launch the next series, any supply they're sitting on immediately will lose value, because, you know, unless it's something like, you know, the 1100 series, I may accidentally say 11,000 series, by the way, unless it's something like those are so tremendously overpriced that no, we can still sell the thousands at the 1000 series at those prices. Unless they do that, if NVIDIA did that, I do think it would break a lot of follows for them. I think there's a lot of NVIDIA fanboys even who'd say, no, that is not worth it. I mean, it's also important because it's like, you know, the 1080, the GTX 1080 is 2 years old. And it's still going well. It's still going fairly strong. Why replace it? The only thing I can think of that's coming that might be you want to upgrade for that is the real-time. Yeah, it's not exactly real-time ray tracing. It's not fully because of how it's made it's done sparsely. there's optimization tricks that are used to minimize the work on there. And this is true of all the different methods, not just the one that NVIDIA has, not just the one that Microsoft has that can work with the NVIDIA one, and not just the one that AMD has had for years. Well, I don't know about years, maybe a year. No. I actually don't remember, because the Radeon Raise thing, at least what it's based on, that has been around for a while, but that is also, it could be adapted to games, but it is meant for professional use. So that would be like game developers being able to have real-time ray tracing there while testing things. But it's like there, okay. In that case, I could see new hardware being desirable, but I don't know if that's going to be enough, because I just see there being a good chance of that being a not as promising as people chip, as people want it to be, and that ending up hurting the evolution, the deployment of it. I'm dead. And definitely if it's like, oh yeah, the 1100 series, it supports it and runs great. You just have to spend $800 for for any of those GPUs. It's like, yeah, I don't think it's gonna be adopted. And there's also the question of how well does it do its job? Because developers have been spending years not using ray tracing and finding ways to still look good. It's all still approximations. In theory, ray tracing can allow for it to be actually correct to the to what the reality would be, but you're not going to see. We're not at the point of that level of physics-based rendering. I want to say that part of how it works even is that, because yeah, it's like it's part of what I remember seeing at. Was it? Now I'm trying to remember what show was it where they were showing that off. That was GDC, wasn't it? I think it was. But part of it is a denoising filter, and that being accelerated. The idea being that you're not actually ray tracing everything, or that there is noise in the results anyway. But what you're actually doing is applying ray tracing some, and then you're combining that information from around, you know, from these different things. That could be good. It's like if that's the case, then cool. But hang on, I'm pretty sure I need to go back to turn in the ore. And I've also kind of lost my train of thought. Okay, I think.
With the ore in my possession, I will take all shades to the other side.
You have freed Hipparchus. Now we will take the boat.
Alright, and I think that's it. But yeah, so part of it is a denoising filter to make it look better. So it's not going to be a perfect appearance that we're getting right now anyway. So it's, you know, exactly how valuable is this going to be? Alright, so all I have is that. I don't have. Alright, so then yeah, this will probably. Although 35%. I don't know. Oh, it does give me less. It might still work out nicely. I would just need a way to give me a boost of 6 intelligence.
Know this, Titan Smasher. Elysium is no more a paradise. I see great heroes die a second time, but never a third. Gods who should go, stay.
I will not be getting to Elysium.
Gods
in
who
this.
should intervene.
That is an area.
Have departed.
I'm there on my other character, and
The
that's
living must take
like
their place beside
quite a few
the
hours
dead.
from here.
Save
Yeah, and there's probably some other, coming back to GPUs, there's probably some other things that are going to be in any next series from NVIDIA or AMD. It is only the, that's just an Easter egg letter. I'm just only able to think of the one new feature. But there'll probably be, other vendor specific, well, not vendor specific, but manufacturer specific things. I'm not aware of it. But yeah, so that information about the whole GPUs being shipped back is not good news. But then it was also, I don't remember the name of the company, the one that makes cooling fans for PC parts. And that place saying they expect an increase in revenue because of new GPUs coming. It's like that's very good, but also that was a Digitimes article. It wasn't specific about it being NVIDIA or AMD. NVIDIA's the only one that we know. Well, actually no, in a way we don't. NVIDIA's the only one that we have an expectation of something new coming this year. AMD is definitely also going to be working on something, but no one really knows what will come. Or when. So yeah, that it is a little more complicated there. I mean, it's possible that AMD could end up announcing most likely the 600 series. Just because they already have something at the high end, and like replacing Polaris wouldn't be a bad idea. But you probably need to wait for Navi to see a Vega replacement, unless they do end up doing like a 7nm Vega consumer GPU, which doesn't seem. That might be. I could see that being announced this year, but I doubt launching this year. It's possible. I just personally, from the stuff I've seen, I kind of doubt that. The TSMC is still ramping up, although apparently seeing things they do expect to reach mass production for 7nm this year. But what that will likely translate to in terms of AMD would be the Radeon Instinct, the 7nm GPUs there, being manufactured on that. Which, true, it's possible those could then go down to a new RX Vega. Though I don't know what you could call it. But also, sorry, my mind is just trying to remember what my point was earlier. The other is be used. TSMC would the 7nm would probably be used for at least initial sampling, if not actual sale items, of Zen 2 processors, which would first be EPYC, not not Ryzen, most likely. It's like the EPYC, the server parts have gone from are going to go from Zen to Zen 2, skipping Zen Plus, which personally I think makes sense. And I think I've said stuff like that. It's like, that's also why I figured that Threadripper wouldn't go to Zen Plus, but I was wrong. They are going to Zen Plus. Yeah, because in the server market you don't see regular upgrades, or at least not on short timescales. So it doesn't make sense to me that you would have, that you do every architecture coming out. It's like Zen, Zen Plus is sort of a tick, and then Talk. Zen 2 would be another tick. It wouldn't make sense to, if you do tick Talk, to put out a new server chip on both the tick and the Talk. You do either the ticks or do the Talks. I don't know how Intel did it, since they actually had a tick-tock cycle, but then they also had a tick-tock and then tick-tock-tock. What are they at now? Is it tick-tock-tock-tock? Yeah, Intel's been strong with their, because the tick is, for Intel, it had been the new
You can't hold
manufacturing process. So that would be like oh wait, there. So that would be like from 14 nanometers to, hang on, I'm just trying, I think that might be best. Like 14 to 10, but they're struggling with 10. So they can't do that, so they've been relying on the TOC, so 14 nanometer to 14 nanometer plus. Now I think they're on plus plus. I don't remember if there are things suggesting that they will go to like a plus plus plus. They might need to though.
To your nature be true.
Okay.
Store your goods?
Oh yeah, that's right. We never have that stuff. There. Touch of the Fool. Do that. Okay. Now let's see. This is one of the things that I did on the when I was on the other account. Is start working through some of these things, and I actually made a couple of these. I will admit I did kind of cheat, just because it's really hard to find some of these things. So I took advantage of the what's it called? The TQ Vault. Did take advantage of that to go in and get fill up on some of that stuff. Right. 5% tell. Ooh. That I think may be worth it. So okay, I'm gonna put those back. I don't have enough fire damage, I think, to make that worth it. Although, well, true, I am actually using that, so that could be nice. No, I think I'll stick to this. But, yeah, that's gonna be nice.
A real hero! My caravan!
Alright, yeah. What else is there from this week to talk about? I know there has been, it's just been one of those weeks that not everything's sticking in my mind. I've been so busy. Oh, yeah, there is that obvious one, which is the Steam Summer Sale going on. I have not purchased anything there yet. There are some things that I would like to get, so I just have tabs open in a browser for that, but I haven't haven't approached them yet. One is just I need to find out if a bug was fixed in it first. Just Assassin's Creed Origins, and it initially would not work on a 1950X like I have, because it didn't like there being so many threads. And there's other applications that are like that too. It's just that was a somewhat modern one that to have this problem. And no, I'm not going to restart my system every time to disable and then re-enable when I want it. Some cores just for one game. No, I'm not okay with that. With doing that. I think it has been fixed, but I've not been able to find anything officially saying yes, it's been fixed. So I just sent an email to Ubisoft support asking. Hopefully I'll hear back soon. Yeah, and speaking of wanting to hear back soon, I can go on about a couple RMA experiences I'm having right now that I'm not particularly happy with. But anyway, coming back to the Steam sale, the other game, technically it's small things like just the Viscera cleanup cleanup group, whatever that is. It just seems like it could be a nice silly game to just be able to spend time in. I completely whiff that ability. I don't know about that one, but I got other games that can take that time, so I don't really need that. But it's still, if nothing else, it does seem a clever game idea. But it is one that it would need to be continued on. I think it's the best way to put that. It's like, see more new content added to it, and I don't know if that is happening for it or not. Okay, so I need to come back here to go up those steps. Actually got that. Yeah, these RMA experiences are not so great right now. So I'm pretty sure I've mentioned, yeah, I'm sure I did, that I had to, my original cooler for my Threadripper failed. Not completely dead, just clearly not performing as it should have. So I'm using a Corsair H110, which is actually what I was using in this case on the previous build. But now I'm on Threadripper, and I wanted something with a full-size hot plate for cold plate. What exactly are they, by the way? Because I see them sometimes referred to as cold plates, that's how I normally refer to them. But then I also see them sometimes referred to as hot plates. I mean, it's the same idea. It's the plate that needs to be cold because it's what's being cooled, or it's the plate that is what the CPU heats. Anyway. So I'm technically losing some thermal performance because of the heck? How did that? Oh, I see. Because of the smaller cold plate, but this is the H110 is a 280mm radiator as opposed to a 240mm radiator, which is what I had with the NMAX cooler. Well, finally, after having sent it in like 2 weeks ago, I got word that, hey, we're sending you out a replacement. It'll be here in a week. Not too thrilled by that. Well, I also, because of when spinning up the fans for the H110, grind, and it is not, I mean, it's not comfortable to hear. I know the fans are functioning, but it's not fun hearing that. Well, the cooler's still in warranty, so I figured, try to get an RMA and have those replaced. And yeah, they sent me one. It's a 2-fan system. And you may be thinking, well, if it's a replacement fan, then yeah, you just change one out. The thing is that it's not the same fan. What they actually sent me is a better fan. The H110 came with fans that have a max RPM of 1500, I think it is. 1500 RPM. I think it's 1500 because when I look at it, it goes above 1400. when I am looking at monitoring that stuff, it goes up that high. It goes above 1400, but not really reaching 1500. That's a nice target. It isn't becoming like 1450. Just that's how reality is. Why did I waste that? So there's that, but they only sent me one, and the other one, the one that they sent me, is actually for the H110i, and it can go up to 2500 RPM. So that means that, especially since these would be on a splitter, a PWM splitter, that they would be running at different speeds, except when they're not running. I don't really like that. I really do not like that. I don't know if there's necessarily anything problematic. I've asked, and they are... I was told that they will move it over to technical support, but I haven't heard anything back on that front yet. I don't know what I want to go to. I don't know. But it still just seems odd that they would only send one. Alright, where's this one? I think this is actually, well... I do have a lot there, it should be fine. Alright, and... now leave that. Okay, that is very lackluster. What does it ultimately? Okay. Yeah, I think I might spend the coin, I got plenty of it, to get rid of that. I was really expecting it to actually be able to kill mob. Just the general mob. Yeah. Oh, I know. Hang on, let me... Nope, that isn't. Because that thing has life leech on it. Well, no. Health regen on hit. Life leech is actually something else. 4% of attack damage converted to health. Yeah, life leech is actually something that will deal damage, bonus damage to undead enemies, I want to say it is. I looked it up at one point. It's kind of weird, but is what it is. Hey, I'm all the way back here. So yeah, hopefully I will hear back from of course, their tech support, and it would be really nice if we would just say, yeah, we'll send you a matching fan. Sorry for the confusion. But they may also say, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. It's like, at least as far as noise goes, the fans being out of sync, I think is going to be a little annoying for me. Since, they are going to be next to each other, and I can't imagine anyone saying that, yeah, you can mismatch fans and it's a good experience. Okay, I have to pop one of these. It's like, what? I have no health regen on this guy. I mean, 3. That's horrible. See, this is part of the reason why I felt okay with some of the cheating to just get the crafting materials for stuff, is that there are some things that are a bitch to get in this game. And one of them is basically any specific stat. Also those materials. Though. But it's, I want to say that I have like a 20 or 30 health regeneration per second on the other character. It's wonderful. Doesn't make all things easy. Like I'm gonna be very frustrated when I get to Cerberus on this character. Cerberus, well, maybe it won't be quite so bad. Because of that. The poison resistance. Cerberus, oh my god. He just does poison damage, it looks like. Maybe some physical. But it honestly felt like the poison damage has some weird multiplier on it that nothing else has. Because it was like, oh, poison damage, you're dead. I've got like 20 to 30 health regeneration. I do actually have poison resistance even, and it's still just tearing through me like no other damage type does. So, yeah. I mean, this guy does more damage thanks to this, but the other guy is much more resilient, and he was just nothing. He was nothing to Cerberus. If it wasn't for the whole you know, respawn and they don't regain their health, there's no way in hell I could have beat Cerberus without either cheating to a whole nother level or just like grinding the hell out of the rest of the game to finally get to a point that it works. But yeah, the only cheating I was doing was like just maxing out these things. Not spiny shell. I need turtle shell. There's another thing. Don't remember what. But I also, in order to make sure that things work, so I don't want to lose the recipes because they are one-time use. Even though I probably will never actually need other uses of them, it's still I didn't want to see them. Because, yeah, with some of those, it doesn't seem like you know how valuable they are until you have them and can actually try them out. Alright. Something else that I saw, I actually put that news up last night. A new version of the Knuckles controller, VR controller from Valve. That looks pretty awesome. I wish I had a Vive and could somehow get those. I mean, maybe by the time that the consumer version comes out, I'll have a Vive. We'll be able to get one easily, so that you can try those, because that's really neat. The idea of actually being able to track your fingers. I will also need a room with more room in it, though. But that's more of a prerequisite to just getting a Vive as well. I mean, the mixed reality headset, that works fine in a smaller space. It's just kind of risky. You may scratch up your television. Kinda did that. It's actually not that bad. Basically, as long as the television is on and isn't just the right color on the screen with just the right light reflecting off of it, you don't even know. You wouldn't see it there, except a little bit on the case. It's like, well, that's the case. That doesn't impact the operation of the television. Yeah, Gorn. Fun game. Is also a little hazardous in small areas. Oh, well. And I did actually, the other day, get, like, this was a couple weeks ago, I think, did actually pick up some more VR games that I may, hopefully I will do some stuff with. It just depends on finding the time to do so. So I don't mention what they are, just in case. Just in case. close am I to the thing? Hang on, let me... Okay, I have. There's one quest that is a little annoying. Just you need to make sure you do certain things and then run back and forth. If you don't, if you miss those, because I also was just going through the other character and like cleaning up some things, some missions, and yeah, that was one that was like, wait, I have the mission. I need to go back and like talk to this one guy though. Isn't he like the one that gave me the quest? Why didn't he tell me this stuff initially? Yeah, it's basically as long as I do that, it won't be an issue. Like then the quest is fine. But if you miss it, then you have to run back. It's just an back to the VR stuff, just for another topic to talk about. With the Knuckles controllers allowing for finger tracking. It's like that's pretty neat, but it's also, it's like, you know, so we know that's coming. We also know that headsets that will track, that have gaze tracking built in, are also, they already exist. I'm not aware of any that are sold. It's just like dev units or demo units. It's like, that would be pretty neat to see. You know, a system that finally has all that in there. But I will also just admit in general that I like eye tracking, gaze tracking as sort of an intermediate thing between VR and normal flat play, as some refer to it as. Yeah, by some, one example would be Crow Team with the Serious Sam stuff, at least. I know that, like in Serious Sam Fusion 2017, it does refer to the 2D as just flat versus VR. But I also saw something. They apparently got a care package from AMD recently, which means he's a bunch of CPUs, including Ryzen 2000, including Threadripper. It looked like the 1000 series Threadrippers though. So the already available ones. APUs. There was also some Vega 64s in there, it looked like. And it's like, this would be several $1,000 that was sent to them. And it's so that, you know, they can do testing. They can make sure that everything works well there. It's just that is pretty neat to see happening for any developer, because that will let them do. Would you? I'm just gonna die. I clicked to do that, to use that ability so many times, and it was just nope, 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 nope.
You have no more room.
Shut up. There. Huh. Okay. I don't know how I can really pick that up. Let's just we'll take care of that. Oh. Why are you upset? Alright. OBS was having issues. I just now, I don't know.
Those who would master our arts must be fearless.
Hang on to that. nothing else. Behind on too.
So long.
Store your goods or ship them out.
Go through and do another round of
A
sorting
real
there.
hero, my caravan.
Damn, it's complaining again. Yeah, dropped frames. Can I see? No, I don't see anything for. See, I don't know if that's. Well, hang on. I do know one quick thing I can look at though. Okay, it shouldn't be temperature. Yeah, it's only at 65 on the CPU. That is not enough to cause any issues. Okay. So it shouldn't be that. So it's probably the internet being a little wonky. Which right now where I am, it's not. The weather isn't bad, but it has been bad in the area, so yeah, that it may just be that somewhere along the line that there's temporarily being issues. Alright, there. What can I talk about? I know there's one thing I can talk about. I've been thinking that because of the whole issue with the one cooler failing and also this situation, maybe trying to go to like a custom cooling solution, which would be superior. It should end up being better than what I have now. It's just, man, custom cooling is intimidating. And part of it is also just, part of it that's intimidating is just the needing to maintain it. Like every so often, I've seen some places like, you know, once a year you want to check it and like refill the reservoir. And that's just, for doing that, I do not keep my computer in a good spot because I keep it under my desk, and being able to pull it out like that isn't easy. Pull it out to do that isn't easy. So yeah, I may just put up with how things are for now until I can somehow change where the case is. Yeah, one thing though that when looking at this stuff, EK actually has a semi-custom. It's a modular, all-in-one setup, and it does actually have a Threadripper-sized water block there, which is pretty nice. Only thing is, if you were following water block information for Threadripper, you know that for a while EK was making a not faulty but less than optimal cold plate. Less than optimal water block for Threadripper. Turns out that that is also the water block that's used in this system. They don't even sell it individually anymore, I believe, but they still are manufactured to use there. I do not know why. So yeah, I have not encountered this before. I will hang on to that. Yeah, so I don't know if I'd want to go for that versus just trying for a custom solution. Well, holding out and then trying to go to a full custom. But I like the idea of it's essentially just they're taking advantage of their quick disconnect system so that they can have pre-filled units that are sold. A pre-filled radiator with fans, reservoir, and pump all built in, and a pre-filled water block for your CPU, a pre-filled water block for your GPU even, and you can just connect all of them through their quick disconnect system. And that's really cool. And you can also buy those quick disconnect parts separately as well for use in your own custom cooling. And also there's other quick disconnect plugs that you can get, quick QDC connectors from other places as well. It sounds like it's an EK only thing, but yeah, it definitely, that is a neat thing, and I'm glad to see that exists. It just wouldn't be perfect, would not be ideal for my setup. But one other thing that if I'm considering it anyway. Okay, I'm pretty sure I am near where I can finally stop. I first saw this stuff a while ago, a few months ago, and just there's one thing about I do not have much experience. And I'd kind of like to get more experience at it, but I don't really have an ideal system for doing that. Working on just getting better at laying down thermal paste. I'm not that experienced at it. I think, you know, I've done a good enough, because, you know, it's the whole, you don't want it too thick, but at the same time you don't want it too thin. One means that it won't transmit the heat as well because you don't have enough connection. The other means it's actually impairing the heat transfer. So this is bad either way, unless you can get it just right. And Threadripper doesn't help because it's so damn big compared to Epic. This is annoying. Stop freezing me. Alright. But one thing that I saw is that you can, apparently Panasonic makes them, but there's also at least one place that basically pre-cuts and sells them for CPUs. It's essentially a sheet of graphite, because graphite is actually very conductive, and you can use it. There's a soft version of these graphite sheets, so it can be compressed and therefore squeeze into any imperfections in the surfaces of the cold plate and the chip's IHS. But you can do that and use it in place of thermal paste. Although you probably still do want to use thermal paste as like a glue just to hold it in place.
Hades owns all the wealth of the earth, and miners take it from him bit by bit. Back when I was alive, I vowed that once I got to the underworld, I would find Hades' treasure trove and take it all at once.
Right. So yeah, as I find different artifacts, I want to run them back here. But I like that idea. Now, some testing I've seen, I haven't seen a tremendous amount of testing for these graphite sheets. But what I have seen basically says that, yeah, it's not, there's better thermal paste out there that do give you like 1 or 2 degrees cooler. But this thing has convenience, because you can just put it down there, use like a single dot of thermal paste to hold it in place. And then it still performs very well, and there's no mess. It's completely clean. In theory, you can even reuse it on multiple builds, or if you're changing out a cooler, you can take, you can just take off the cooler, keep that thing right there, and just take that off, put it back, and whatever. You can do that. That's awesome.
Before the war of the Olympians and the Titans, Zeus quarreled with a Titan, and in anger threw his thunderbolt so hard that the Titan was reduced to ash. Prometheus used the ashes to fashion the first humans. He put the few remaining ashes into a sacred urn, which now rests here in the underworld, watched over by a fearsome guardian. I am versed in the Eleusinian rites, and could prepare the dust, if I had it.
You've nothing to do with those demons.
By the way, if you heard some noise just then, I realized that the microphone wasn't perfectly turned to face me, so I did that.
Goodbye.
Oh, wait,
we can
that...
accommodate you. Yes. So long,
Yeah, I
mortal.
need to juggle some things around. Oh, no, it's this guy.
Dissolve your past. Relearn your future.
That was not worth it.
Your choices have been made.
How long has it been since I beheld my
That's-
love, Orpheus? Well, I must...
That... And it's sometime I need to get something that opens that up, and then I go back there and take care of that.
Some of us around here may not be heroes, but it takes more than heroes to win a war. We lay low and pop up where they least expect us.
Okay,
And when
I think
I
that...
have tried to go to the Elysian fields.
Right. So... Well,
And
I'll
now
take
a
care.
mortal, is that it? First these demons, strange news, now the living come traipsing through our land.
Hey, you care, you're getting me.
Hermes, take you far from
Immortal.
here.
I can smell your blood. Very immortal.
Yes?
I doubt there's anything
Goodbye.
good here. Alright. Nope, not yet. I need to talk to this guy before talking to another guy for that one quest I was talking about earlier. It's just kind of annoying. Because if you don't... Maybe
We
this?
tried to tell the living what was happening in the underworld. But the first place the demons captured was in the...
That wouldn't be it. Let me just look around. Make sure I got everyone. Looks like I did. And I don't think I can talk to this guy now. Nope, but it is a... You need to talk to him before something else is possible. And just... Woohoo! This is where next things will be. Alright. So yeah, that will be it for this week. Yeah, that's all I really got. Almost an hour. Yeah. See you next time.